Here's the belief that is keeping you broke. Your car reflects your success. You think that driving a nice new vehicle signals to the world that you have made it, that you are competent, that you are worth respect. You think that driving an old car signals failure or poverty, or that you cannot afford better. That's the story car commercials sell you. That's the story your coworkers reinforce when they comment on your new truck, and it is a financial disaster. Marcus bought the F-150 because his coworkers drive new trucks. He works in a warehouse where everyone has a truck. The parking lot looks like a dealership. Every guy who works there has a payment between $500 and $800 per month. They compare trucks, they talk about features, they give each other shit for not having the upgraded trim package. The culture is trucks. If you show up in a 15-year-old sedan, you're the odd one out. You're the guy who couldn't afford a real vehicle. Marcus did not want to be that guy, so he bought a $53,000 truck on a $47,000 salary. He is now that guy anyway, because he's broke. He cannot go out with coworkers after work because he has no money. He cannot take vacations. He skipped his niece's wedding in another state because he could not afford the flight. The truck that was supposed to signal success is preventing him from participating in life, but it looks good in the parking lot. That $738 per month is costing him everything. The math of new versus used is so lopsided that buying new is almost never rational for anyone earning under six figures. A new car loses 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Marcus's $53,000 truck was worth $42,400 the day he bought it. He lost $10,600 in depreciation before he got home. Over the first year, the truck will lose another 15%. By the end of year one, the truck is worth $36,040. Marcus paid $53,000 and now owns something worth $36,000. He's underwater by $17,000 after 1 year. Meanwhile, Gerald's 2016 Camry depreciated about $2,000 in the 3 years he's owned it. Gerald lost $2,000. Marcus lost $21,000 in year one alone. And Marcus is paying interest on top of the depreciation. His loan is $50,000 at 8.9%. In year one, he pays $4,300 in interest. Add the depreciation and the interest, Marcus lost $21,300 in year one of owning the truck. Gerald lost $2,000 over 3 years. Marcus loses more in 1 year than Gerald loses in 3 years, despite Gerald earning 5 times more. This is not because Marcus is stupid. This is because Marcus is trying to signal status he does not have, and the signal is expensive. But the payment isn't even the worst part. It's what the payment prevents Marcus from doing. $738 per month is $8,856 per year. If Marcus had bought a 10-year-old truck for $12,000 cash instead of financing a new one, he would have that $8,856 per year available for other things. Over the 7 years of the loan, that's $62,000 in payments he wouldn't make. If he invested that $738 per month instead of sending it to Ford Credit at 8% return, he would have $79,000 after 7 years. Marcus is trading $79,000 in potential wealth for a truck. He's choosing the truck over financial freedom. And he doesn't even realize he's making that choice because he's thinking about the monthly payment, not the opportunity cost. The dealership trained him to think that way. They asked him what payment he could afford, not whether buying the vehicle made sense. Marcus said he could do $700 per month. They structured the deal to hit $738. Close enough? Sold. Marcus never asked what the truck actually cost. He asked what the payment was. The payment feels manageable. The total cost is catastrophic. The status signaling is the psychological hook that makes this trap work. Marcus doesn't need a $53,000 truck. He needs a vehicle that gets him to work. A 10-year-old F-150 with 130,000 miles on it would do that job for $12,000. It would start every morning, it would haul whatever he needs to haul, it would last another 5 years with basic maintenance. But it would not be new. It would not have the latest touchscreen. It would not have the luxury package. And critically, his coworkers would know it was old. The status signal would be wrong. Marcus would look like the guy who couldn't afford a new truck. So he bought the new truck to avoid looking like the guy who couldn't afford it. And now he actually cannot afford anything because the truck payment ate his financial flexibility. The signal worked. Everyone at work knows Marcus drives a new Lariat. What they don't know is that Marcus has $800 in his checking account and can't afford to replace his work boots that are falling apart. The external signal is success. The internal reality is financial fragility. Marcus traded actual security for perceived status. Meanwhile, Gerald doesn't care what anyone thinks about his Camry. Gerald has $230,000 in annual income and probably close to $2 million in net worth by his mid-50s. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. His bank account is the proof. The Camry is transportation. It is not identity. It is not status. It is a tool that moves him from place to place reliably and cheaply. Gerald could afford to buy a new luxury car with cash. He could write a check for a $90,000 Range Rover and not feel it. He doesn't because he understands that cars are depreciating liabilities, not investments. Every dollar he puts into a car is a dollar that is guaranteed to be worth less next year. So he puts the minimum required dollars into cars and puts the maximum possible dollars into assets that appreciate: index funds, real estate, his business. Gerald became wealthy partly by refusing to buy things that lose value. Marcus is staying broke partly by buying things that lose value while thinking they make him look wealthy.